Welcome to another Saturday morning bakes, filmed on a Saturday, published on a Sunday, at least I hope. This is so bad. Oh my God. Today we're going to be making mooncakes. It is that time of the year again. It is a mid-autumn festival. I have a story to tell you. So back when I was a wee lad, I made the mistake, not really, of looking on the back of a mooncakes tin. Anybody who's done this before, you'll see these mooncakes and they're not necessarily that big. They're kind of thick, but they're not necessarily that big. 1,280 calories per mooncake. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's this small. Like, how could that be? The way that mooncakes get a huge bit of their calorie amount is because you usually fry the filling in a lard or in an oil. And I don't know why they do this. So like they take, beans or like lotus seeds or like perfectly like really yummy, very nutritious things, and they will fry it in oil or in lard until, I know why they do it, but I imagine that makes things kind of fragrant, but also like not to the extent of like how much stuff it adds to it. So it was always interesting to me, especially like for Mid-Autumn Festival where you're really celebrating the harvest, but like also, again, people getting together, you're wishing people good health and all of that jazz. Why you would give these gifts. We do not need to eat in kind of the old ways anymore. Not everything needs to be preserved in lard. People do not do manual labor as much. And so today I am going to make the best of both worlds. I am going to make you an uberly delicious, easy mooncake, but it's going to be really good for you as well. Outside skin is going to be made from buckwheat. Inside is going to be like a mung bean dates filling. I think I'm gonna put other stuff in there as well. So join me. The first thing I am going to be doing is to do the filling first. That way it has time to thicken up, cook, and then cool down so that we can turn them into cakes. So at this time you can go ahead and add in some flavorings, like if you wanted to put in, coconut milk or whatever. Okay, so now let's make the outside crust. What I'm going to do, I took some hemp seeds and water and then I blended it, and the reason I did that is because sometimes traditional mooncakes, there's obviously fat, there's lard in the crust. It depends on where you want to go with this. I can actually just use boiling water, but I decided since hemp milk has a fair amount of just fats in it, that it might make the crust a bit shorter. We're gonna heat this up. So let me just turn this down. So now I'm gonna show you probably one of the best techniques that you'll learn in cooking. So typically I'll see this method very much in a lot of Asian cooking when you're dealing with either batter or usually like a dough that is gluten-free, maybe, that you need to kind of give some body and some hold to, but there is no gluten, there is no hold. What they do is, can you all hear that? I'm so sorry, it's so loud. They'll cook part of the batter or they'll cook part of the dough. And what that does, so I'm going to just divide this into a third, if that makes sense. It makes sense that I do this on the side first. And then I'll go in with a 1/4 cup of boiled hemp. Let's see what this does. So what this is going to do, it cooks off some of that buckwheat, and so it gets it to release the starches. So now it's like a thicker, it has that glue power that if this was cold water, this would have never, you know, really done. Probably another 1/4 cup. It's like the best method. Still a bit hot. But also once it cools down, it's gonna just firm up some more. But it's pretty cool to the touch now. I'll probably just do it, let it cool for like 5 minutes. So what I thought is I made some with slightly less filling. And this is when you can either put in that, you know, what I usually do with the egg yolk is I take like a sweet potato and I scoop it out. But this, I'm just gonna fill it with some of our filling. Some of our nut filling. So these are really not, I mean, they're on the point of cracking, so they're not really sticky. So the rice flour is more for the molds. Typically, how you do this with actual mooncakes is this kind of, you know, I may need more. Just this dough is a little, okay, where's my other rolling pin? All right, it's fine, don't care. Usually you can push the dough around fairly easily. Okay, this is a very big piece. Let's hope it works. So yeah, I'm just wetting it a little bit, and then that's how I'm going to get rid of some of the cracks, and also to get it to spread a little bit because I think the dough is just a bit dry. Okay. So traditionally with these kinds of molds, I have not had the best luck with not getting them to stick. So in the past couple of years, I've really overdone it on just dusting. It's like every little crevice is an opportunity for these molds to ruin your life. I think I added a little too much. 1, 2, 3. Get off. Boom. Yay. It's so pretty. So this guy says pretty much lotus seed paste with egg yolk. None of which we have in here, but I just thought with the characters it was prettier. This bit's a bit wet. Yeah, if you wet it, it spreads a lot better. The dough was just kind of dry. I know what you're thinking, that looks a bit dry, and that is because you are supposed to let these mooncakes sit in a covered container for 2 to 3 days so that the moisture from the filling comes through on the skin as well. So these have been sitting for a day and they look actually a little bit better already. I'm not sure if you can see that, but if you are trying to do this in a rush maybe, I made some date syrup, just dates and water, and I feel like we could probably just paint these ever so slightly, get rid of some of the rice flour. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this year's healthy mooncakes. I think once again, mooncakes prove that they are pretty to look at, but a pain to make. And that is why we only do that once a year. So I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.